sir.
Good morning. This year, we have seen an unprecedented flow of family units, primarily from Central America, coming to our southwest border. During the first 10 months of this fiscal year, U.S. Customs and Border Protection apprehended or encountered almost 475,000 families, 90% of whom crossed our border unlawfully between ports of entry, 3 times more than any previous full-year record. After nearly 2 years of work by the Department of Homeland Security and Health and Human Services professionals, consideration of over 100,000 comments from stakeholders and members of the public, and a comprehensive review, the Trump administration has established a new rule to respond to the realities of current immigration flows, a rule based in the principle that families should remain together during immigration proceedings. At the heart of this new rule are 2 core principles: that families should remain together during immigration proceedings, and that conditions for care of children must be appropriate. The new rule establishes a high national standard for care of children and families in custody, allows the government to keep families together for fair and expeditious immigration proceedings, restores integrity to our immigration system, and eliminates the incentive for children to be used or exploited to enter the United States. The facilities that we will be using to temporarily house families under this rule are appropriately fundamentally different than the facilities where migrants are processed following apprehension or encounter at the border. They are campus-like settings with appropriate medical, educational, recreational, dining, and private housing facilities. For example, there's no intent to hold families for a long period of time. In fact, we have the prior experience that shows we were able to average under 50 days. That is the intent for a fair but expeditious immigration proceeding. The new rule will protect children by reducing incentives for adults, including human smugglers, to exploit minors in the dangerous journey to our border, using them to beat the system and be released into the United States. No child should be a pawn in a scheme to manipulate our immigration system, which is why the new rule eliminates the incentive to exploit children as a free ticket, or as one gentleman in Guatemala told me, a passport for migration to the United States. If we have a process that gets immigration results and the vast majority are being repatriated in a timely fashion, that's the message that people will see. 5,000 to 7,000 per person, a dangerous journey in the hands of smugglers to the U.S., ultimately not successful within a matter of weeks and months. That's going to be what changes the dynamic. That's what happened in 2014. That's what's happened whenever we've been able to effectively implement immigration consequences for people that don't have meritorious claims. So obviously there will be litigation, as all new immigration rules have faced litigation in my career. So we do expect a dialogue in the courts. In fact, this rule contemplates terminating the Flores settlement agreement, and actually there's a legal proceeding just to do that coming out of the implementation. So we do expect litigation. We do hope to be able to implement as soon as possible.